Hello, everyone. My name is Gavin Dehnert, and I am an emerging contaminant scientist with Wisconsin Sea Grant. Today, we will be exploring emerging contaminants in aquatic environments and looking at a connection between human and environmental health. One popular set of emerging contaminants that have been found in aquatic ecosystems are per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS. PFAS are a man-made family of chemicals, and researchers have identified more than 5,000 different versions. PFAS have been found at many sites around Wisconsin and all over the nation, with over 2,800 sites around the US, and this number is still growing. PFAS can be persistent in both in the environment and the human body and have been labeled as forever chemicals. Over the last 20 plus years, research has shown that PFAS can cause negative health effects in both humans and wildlife. However, most researchers have looked at these health impacts in two separate bins. The first bin, environmental toxicology. In environmental toxicology, researchers explore the environmental impacts of PFAS, such as where is PFAS found in the environment? How does it move throughout the environment? How does it break down within the environment? Or are there any specific impacts on different wildlife species? The second bin is human toxicology. In human toxicology, researchers explore what are the human health impacts of PFAS, such as can it cause diseases? Where is it found in the body? How do humans get rid of it once it's in our body, etc. There's a third bin that is often overlooked. And in this bin, we can combine both human and environmental toxicology and start to explore the connection between both human and environmental health. This is particularly important to emerging contaminants as this research builds the connection between the two disciplines in order to help scientists understand the full impacts of PFAS. For example, researchers have looked at what are the impacts of PFAS on different fish species and have suggested that exposure to PFAS in aquatic environments, could lead to negative impacts such as reproductive success. On the flip side, there's been an abundant amount of research, epidemiology research around the world that has correlated PFAS exposure and certain health conditions. But there's a connection between how humans rely on the environment that could be overlooked. People, me included, enjoy fish as a food source, and thus an exposure route of PFAS from the environment to the people. Recent literature has shown us that PFAS both persists in aquatic environments, such as lakes and rivers, and these lakes and rivers are home to harvestable species like fish. Additionally, research has started to show that PFAS can bioaccumulate in fish species, and even to rates that could be potentially harmful to humans if we consume those fish. Thus, recent findings have found high levels of PFAS exposure in different fish species. And this has led to fish consumption advisories in lakes and rivers around the state of Wisconsin and other regions around the nation. This is important as this could be impacting both overall fish health, but also this is important as this is an exposure route of PFAS, and thus the connection between PFAS or the environment and people. These high concentrations of PFAS in fish can also then be a concern to human health. So therefore, as we continue to study the impacts of PFAS, we will use an approach that connects both human and environmental toxicology in order to add to our overall knowledge of PFAS.